Hi, friends. Happy Wednesday night. I had to think about what day this was. Okay. I just want to share this real quick. This is not going to be long because it is 9:35 p.m. Okay? 9:35 p.m. I am in the bed. But I wanted to share this because I just shared this with a sister in Christ. And in simple terms, brother in Christ, man of God, sister in Christ, woman of God, you prayed for that closed door. You prayed for that rejection. You prayed for God to say no. You prayed to be overlooked. What, Nina? Oh my gosh, what are you talking about? When you surrender your life to God and you say, God, use me however you please. Okay? When you pray that prayer to God and you say, God, if it's not from you, I don't want it. When you pray that prayer to God and you're like, God, if it wasn't sent from you, close the door. When you pray that prayer to God to break everything off of you that is not of him, when you pray that prayer to God to do a new thing, y'all know how y'all like to pray, Lord, do a new thing. God is doing a new thing. You're asking for him to protect you from every and anything, whether it's a person, place, or thing that he did not send. That's not from you. That's not the time for you to have it. You're asking him to cut off access to those things. Okay? So if you lost your job and you're getting rejection letter after rejection letter after rejection letter, and you said, God, I trust you. I surrender this to you. Do whatever you want. Do a new thing in my life. Y'all know, y'all love to pray that prayer for God to do a new thing. How do you want him to do a new thing if things are being attached to you that he didn't ordain? If things are being connected to you, people are being connected to you that are not for you in this season. So you know what he's going to do? He's going to close doors. You're going to try to make new friends with people. And if they're not in alignment with his plan for you for that season or ever, he's going to close the door. When you apply for that job, you're going to get a rejection. You may get rejection after rejection after rejection. That's okay. You prayed for it. You just didn't use those exact words. But when you surrender your life to God, when you surrender a situation to God, you're saying, God, I'm putting this at your feet. Do whatever you want to do with it. If you had a bunch of money, if you were in my room right now and you had a bunch of money in your wallet and you said, Nina, I surrender this money to you. I lay it at your feet. Now, if I go take your money and go blow it in Target, you told me to. You gave me permission to because you said, I'm surrendering this money to you. You're giving me permission to do whatever I choose to do with that money, right? So how do you think that translates to God when you're saying, I surrender the situation to you? I'm trusting in you to guide me in this situation. I'm surrendering my life to you. I'm laying it at your feet. You're asking God to reject things. So if you're applying for that job and you're getting rejected back to back to back, don't be discouraged. You prayed for it. God is protecting you. He's doing what you asked him to do. A lot of y'all you speak cute words, but you don't know what you're actually saying. Hold on. Let's look up the definition. I'm not even going to look up the biblical definition of surrender. Let's look up the Webster's Dictionary definition of surrender. To cease resistance to an enemy or opponent and submit to their authority. To cease resistance and to submit to someone's authority. You know, God is not your enemy, right? He's not your enemy. He's for you. But when you give him your life, when you give him your yes, when you give him the situation, you're surrendering that to him, meaning you're ceasing resistance, right? You're not resisting whatever he wants to do. You're accepting. You're not resisting it. And you're submitting to his authority. It means to give in, to yield, to give way, to back down, to quit, to crumble. Are y'all catching this? To submit. To resign, These are all definitions of surrender. So when you surrender to God, you're opening yourself up to whatever he wants to do, and you're giving him authority over your job, over the relationships, over the place that you live, over the marriage, over your health, over your mind, over your will, over your emotions, over your soul. You're giving him authority over it. So that means anything that comes your way and he knows it's not going to be good for you, maybe not ever, maybe not at that time. If he knows it's not for you, if he has something better for you, you're going to experience rejection. Not just through jobs, you're going to experience it in relationships. You're going to experience it in positions. You're going to apply for apartments, apply for loans, and you may get rejected. But you prayed for that when you surrendered to God. It's his way of keeping you safe. It's his way of keeping you safe so that you get to the destination that he has for you. I hear a lot of people saying, God is preparing the promise for you. If God spoke it to you, he doesn't need to prepare that. Whatever the promise is, that's been prepared on day one when he spoke it. It was already prepared. So no, he doesn't have to prepare the promise for you. He prepares you for the promise. He prepares you for the promise so that when it's there, you know how to handle it. You know how to deal with it. You know how to steward it. And everybody's preparation looks different, but enjoy the ride. When you go to a grocery store and there's automatic doors, you walk full force towards that door. You expect it to open for you because that's what it's designed to do, right? When you get on an elevator and you press floor 2, floor 4, whatever, you expect that elevator to take you to the floor that you press. So you get on that elevator and you don't ask no questions. You walk towards that automatic door at the store and you don't ask no questions. You don't get afraid that the door is not going to open. You don't become afraid that the elevator is not going to go up. When you catch a flight, you don't get afraid that you don't become afraid of the airplane not flying. That's what it was designed to do, right? When you go to church and you sit on their chairs or in their pews or on the benches, you sit down knowing that that chair is going to hold you, right? Even if you feel a few pounds heavier, you know that that chair was designed to hold you, right? That's what it was designed to do. God was created to hold you. God was created to open doors for you. God was created to love you. God was created to take you higher. Just like an elevator, he was created to do that. He's God. He was created to do all things. That's what he's created for. He's God. He has all power. He's all knowing. He's everywhere. He can do all things. So the same way you trust things in everyday life, elevators, chairs, automatic doors, stoplights, right? You expect help me, Lord. You expect a stoplight to turn green when it's time for you to go. You expect it to turn red when it's time for you to stop. You expect it to turn yellow when it's telling you to slow down. You don't sit there and ask questions wondering if it's going to turn or not. It's a stoplight. It was created to do that. Give God credit for who he is. He created this whole entire world with just words. What more will he do for you? Give him credit for who he is. Just like you give everything in your life credit every day for what you know it was created to do for you. So the rejections, the denials, feeling like you're veiled or hidden, whatever the case may be, you prayed for that. Your prayer just went something like, Lord, do a new thing. Lord, I give it all to you. Lord, I have faith that you're going to see it through. It's in your hands, Lord. Do what you want with it. Use me. That's what your prayer sounded like. But all of that comes with all the things that you don't like receiving. But it's not to hurt you. It's not to break you. God just has something else for you. And just because you're being rejected or turned away does not mean you're in the wrong place. Help me, Lord. It does not mean that you're in the wrong place. It does not mean that you need to go somewhere else for God to bless you. God is omnipresent. He's everywhere. So it doesn't matter if I'm here in the United States or in China. What God promised me is what's going to happen. That promise was prepared when he spoke it. It was already finished. It was already done. But he has to prepare you for the promise, not the other way around. So I pray this blesses someone tonight. I'm going to go to sleep because obviously I need it. But I shared this with a sister in Christ, but I know she's not the only one that needs it. A lot of you do. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.